WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. No, I never get tired saying that. It is absolutely gorgeous out there once again. For the beginning of October, boy, I'll tell you, this is going to be a tough act to follow. Right now, 64 degrees at the airport here at Radio Center, downtown Midland and downtown Bay City. We do have a little bit of a breeze out of the southwest, 12 miles per hour. Barometer hanging in there steady at 30.29. The high pressure system, there's a couple of them. One of them is located over in Quebec province in eastern Canada. The other is over West Virginia. And the two of them together giving us some pretty nice weather today, tonight, and for the most part tomorrow. Looks to be fairly uneventful. We're going to see a little bit more in the way of clouds as we go through the day tomorrow. And then eventually late tomorrow night into the morning hours on Sunday, we're going to have some shower activity around. We'll talk about that in just a moment. The high pressure system over West Virginia is going to break down a little bit, and the other high pressure over Quebec is moving further away. The Atlantic Ocean has been pretty active, and we haven't heard too much about it. There have been a couple of tropical becoming hurricane depressions that have been moving up the Atlantic. Fortunately for the continental United States, and in particular the East Coast, we haven't really seen a lot of activity. Now, we are going to see some riptide stuff heading toward the Carolinas over the next couple of days or so. There's a huge hurricane in the central part of the Atlantic, and it's very unusual for that hurricane to be there. Hurricane Sam. Normally, the water is a little bit cooler, so they don't hang around all that long. There's quite a bit of movement to them. They head in a northerly direction and eventually break up in the northern parts of the Atlantic. This one has just been hanging around since the 23rd of September. Gaining force, becoming a stage 5 hurricane, then dropping down to a 4, a 3, back up to a 4. Eventually, it is going to be moving. But one thing that has happened is it's really slowed the movement of a lot of frontal activity across the continental United States. And as a result, that's why these systems that we've been seeing, including the rain system we saw a while ago here in September, and what we're seeing right now with this beautiful weather, everything has just kind of been delayed, slowed down. Eventually, we're going to get a little bit more constant movement of these systems from west to east, but right now, that's not the case. And it does appear as though we're going to continue in this mode for at least another 10 days to 2 weeks. Right now, our long-range outlook is for above average temperatures and slightly below normal on the precipitation through at least the middle of October. And again, this is quite unusual for this to happen. Not so much above average temperatures. We've had warm Octobers, but to see the moisture pattern the way it is right now, that's kind of unusual. Normal for this time of the year, October, we should have right around 3 inches of rain, just a little bit less than 3 inches. So we'll have to see how everything shakes out. But right now, it appears as though we might be a little below average when it comes to moisture this year for the month of October. And definitely, we're going to be holding up at least normal, if not above average, on the temperatures for a good part of the month as well. Snow, yeah, we do get snow in October. Not very often, but we do. Probably the snowiest day that we've seen on record in October was October the 27th of 1967. We had 5 inches of snow. You go a little bit further to the west, Minneapolis, a huge snowstorm, close to 30 inches in October, literally ruined the Hubert Humphrey Dome at that time. And then, of course, they've had dome failures since. But now they don't have any dome failures because those domes, those stadiums are gone. But they used to get some real heavy snows in October in that part of the country. For us, not so much the case. Again, the earliest snow reported measurable snow in October. It was October the 12th. So we've got a ways to go. I don't think we're going to see, it really doesn't look like we're going to see much in the way of snow in October this year. But it's kind of interesting just to see the transition. The other transition, 67 is our normal high, 46 is our normal low. By Halloween, the normal high is 53 and the normal low is 37. So a little bit of a transition there, more so than what we usually see over the summertime, where you get very little movement of average high and average low from month to month. So, yeah, the fall season, we're there, where things are going to be cooling down. And, of course, the other thing that we see is sunrise and sunset really beginning to change. 7:17 is our sunset tonight. 7:35 is our sunrise tomorrow morning. We're dropping down into the 6 o'clock hour for sunsets once we get into the second part of the month of October. And then with daylight savings time ending in November, a little bit late this year, November the 7th, I believe it is, where we'll really see a drop off. We'll be in the 5 o'clock hour for sunsets once we roll into November Eastern Standard Time. But that's all coming. Today, 76 for a high, 56 for a low, 79 for a high tomorrow. We'll see some 80s in southern Michigan tomorrow. Sunshine to start the day, clouds as we go through the day, scattered shower activity, more than likely after sunset tomorrow night. How much rain are we going to get? I think 1/4 of an inch, maybe 4/10 of an inch as we move through Saturday night and all day Sunday night, and early Monday morning. So right now, we're not expecting a lot of moisture. But again, at this time of the year, you don't have the evaporative loss that you normally do. And so you get a 1/2 inch of rain, it's going to last a little bit longer. 62% is our humidity as of right now. So pretty much that's the way the weather shapes up for right now. Record high in the state is 88. That was set back in 1971. The record low, 24. And that was set way back in 1899. A year ago today, 60 was our high, 44 was our low. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Cody Harris standing by at Star of the West to tell us, he's going to try to pick up the pieces after in the soybean pit anyway, after yesterday. We'll talk to him in just a moment. But this reminder first, the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Folks at Tri-County Equipment want you to stop by, take a look at the Series 1, 2, and 3 tractors available right now. 0% APR for 60 months. So you're talking mulching, tilling a garden bed, or digging a pond. It's never been more affordable than right now. Nothing could make you happier than a John Deere Series 1, 2, or 3 tractor available at 0% APR for 60 months. And they're also your headquarters for steel power equipment. Tri-County Equipment. Remember, when you're talking John Deere and Michigan's Thumb, as well as Saginaw Reese and Birch Run, you are talking Tri-County Equipment, working harder, doing more. All right, Cody Harris, what are they doing to us this morning?
Well, good morning, Terry. We got kind of the same boat as we did have yesterday, post-report, I'll say. We got wheat surging again here this morning. Beans are down slightly here today, and then corn's doing a little bounce back today, kind of fighting some of the mixed messages that we got from the report for corn. So, I mean, looking at everything the way it sits right now, we got cash wheat that's up 27, 712 on the white, 677 on the red. New crop 2022 wheat that's up 17, 734 on the white, 674 on the red. Looking over at cash corn, that's up 5 at 492. New crop corn is also up 5 at 492. And looking over at soybeans, cash soybeans are down 8 at 1188, and new crop soybeans are also down 8 at 1188.
Government report came out yesterday. Really interesting numbers. By the sounds of it, I don't know if there was that much more or that much less of product out there. I think it was a big number shuffle, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, there's definitely a little bit of numbers shuffling around here. I mean, kind of looking at everything, like I said, the big story, I guess, was definitely in soybeans. So, soybeans are still taking a hit right now. After that, there was a surprisingly large rise in the U.S. soy stocks. They kind of came out with the ending stocks number yesterday of 256 million bushels. That was about 84 million bushels higher than the average pre-report estimate. So that really caught a lot of traders off guard. And then kind of to add insult to injury to that, they also revised last year's crop. Yield went up 0.8 bushels to 51 bushels an acre, and also harvested acres rose 100,000 acres. And that right there kind of boosted production by another 81 million bushels. So kind of all that combined, it really loosened up the soybean balance sheet a lot more than a lot we're anticipating, as the soybean ending stocks kind of were a lot higher than what we were expecting coming into this report. They still may be low, especially compared to last year, but a lot higher than a lot of people were expecting, which is why you're seeing maybe soybeans take another hit here today, as everyone's trying to find out where those numbers are actually going to settle down as we get through this harvest. But kind of looking at even corn, there's a bunch of mixed messages in corn. Corn stocks were higher than expected at 1.24 billion bushels, but corn production for 2020 was lowered as yield and harvested acres were both revised downward. Yield was at about 171.5 bushels an acres, down a half a bushel from the previous estimate. And then harvested acres fell by 200,000 acres, but then kind of look at the net effect, we actually went up on the ending stocks 70 million bushels. So that's why I think you're maybe seeing corn maybe bounce a little back, not too much information there, kind of different from what everyone was expecting coming in this report. But I guess the real shaker too right now is wheat. Like I said, we're soaring again here at wheat, up 27 on the nearby futures here again today. And that has a lot to do with stocks. September 1 wheat stocks were reported at 1.78 billion bushels, and that's compared to the pre-report estimate of 1.85 billion bushels. So we're down about 100 million bushels, according to the estimates, and from the stocks report yesterday. So you're definitely seeing wheat definitely kind of bounce right now, and that has a lot to do with kind of that weather we've been watching out west. Harvested acres for spring wheat plunged to 10.2 million acres from the 11.6 that we thought was the planning number here earlier this year. And that wheat abandonment is definitely due to a lot of summer drought in the northwestern and northern plains as we kind of move forward.
Yeah. So it's going to be real interesting, the next report that comes out, how these numbers are going to shake out then.
Yes, that is true. That's one thing we got to keep in mind. This report right here definitely gets us a good idea for ending stocks, especially with, the marketing year starting September 1st. But there has been the last few years some, I would say, discrepancies between this report and the final numbers as we kind of move through the crop year. So that's something to keep in mind, but definitely this is what the market's focused on at this moment.
Cody, thank you very much. Have a good weekend, okay?
You as well, Terry. Thank you.
Will do. A little bit more as far as what the markets are doing. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining us right now. The market report brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline. It's Ram Ag season continuing at Schaefer and Beerline. So if you're looking for a new Ram commercial truck or van, get it from a dealer that's been around since 1852. Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, they know trucks and vans. So you can buy with confidence from a dealer where family and service sells cars. They are the Great Lakes Bay Area's certified ag dealer. Schaefer and Beerline. Morning, Doug. What are we looking at?
Well, it looks like wheat is the leader today, almost 4%, 3.5% to 4%. Corn's almost 1%, and silver taking about a 2.25% jump today, coming off their low that they set yesterday. Merck has a pill now that they think will not eliminate COVID, but drastically reduced the symptoms and the potential death rate. So their stock hit a new high today. Oh, that's going on. And so that's got the stock market a little bit excited. So here's your numbers. The December corn is 542, up 5 1/4. The March corn is 550, up 5 1/2. November soybeans 1248 1/4, down 7 3/4. The March soybeans 1265 3/4, down 6 1/4. December wheat is 752 1/2, up 27. And then the March wheat is 763 1/2, also up 27 cents. Crude oil 75.15, up 12 cents. Heating oil is 234 1/2, that's up 7/10 of a penny. Gasoline is 220.87, that's up 1.5 cents. Natural gas 5.59, that's down 27 1/2 cents. Canadian dollar, US dollar gets you $1.2656 at the border, that's down 22 ticks. The yen is at 110.99, down 28 ticks. The euro is at 116.02, up 21 ticks. The dollar is at 94.06, still holding on to that 94 level. That's down 17 ticks. Gold's at 1756.40, up $1.10. Silver's at 22.57, up 52 1/2 cents. Platinum's at 969.20, it's up $8.30.
Crude oil 75 and climbing.
Holding.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
There's no holidays coming up, but
Columbus Day.
yeah, get ready for that.
Yeah,
That's a biggie.
heck yes. Well, maybe we might all be treading water or whatever time we're done. All righty, you take care. Have a good weekend, okay?
Yep,
all right, Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Let's slide over to Midland right now. Chuck Zurenski from Maple Hill Nursery is on the line with me. And Chuck, this weather just absolutely gorgeous out here.
Oh, it's been the best we've had all fall. The last 3 or 4 days, and it looks like we're going to have some rain Sunday, which will be nice.
Yeah, so a lot of opportunity for people to get out in the yard and do some work, and from what I understand, sit outside and enjoy. These temperatures have really been pleasant. So, what are you going to do with that fall sale that expired?
We're actually going to extend it until the 20th of this month. We had such a great response. We decided let's extend it, especially with this weather. Why not? So we've got 40% off all of our potted trees and shrubs and perennials, 30% off bald, larger trees, and we've even got 40% off on in-stock pottery, and a select group of al fresco home patio furniture is now 30% off.
Yeah, the weather is just absolutely gorgeous, and people can get out. Do you have those? What are they? They're like a burner. The
fire tables.
Yeah, the fire
Certainly.
table.
We've got quite a few different ones. Some of those are 30% off as well. And matter of fact, I used mine last night. It's perfect. You can sit outside with a cup of coffee, your favorite beverage, and be very comfortable with one of those right now.
Give us directions how to get to you.
We are about 1.5 miles north of the Midland Mall on East Monroe, just past the corner of Monroe and Eastman, on the right-hand side of the road, Monday through Friday, 8 to 6, Saturday, 8 to 4. You can call us at 989-835-4708.
You have a nice weekend, Chuck. Thank you very much.
Yep, bye-bye.
Talk to you again. Chuck Zurenski over at Maple Hill Nursery in Midland.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, Fireplace Doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Well, while we're talking about this really nice weather, I want to touch base here real quick with Joe Kramer with the Michigan Bean Commission. Joe, for the most part, our producers were able to get in and get the dry beans harvested. Do we still have a few fields out there left?
We do, Terry. I think talked to a couple growers this morning that are still desiccating, and but I think by the time we see rain on Sunday, we'll have top 90% harvested, and generally speaking, quality is absolutely excellent. Maybe the best we've ever had, or most consistent anyway, and yields for the most part have been real good.
Let's talk a little bit about yields, especially here in the state. I've been told that these are some of the best yields that some dry bean growers have had as long as they can remember.
I'm hearing the same thing, Terry, and it feels to me like if you started at the tip of the thumb and you work your way back towards Saginaw, the yields are they decrease as you come towards Saginaw. We still have some really good yields around here too, but you get over in Montcalm and Gratiot County, they're not quite as good. We had more water damage, a little bit of water damage in the Bay County area as well. But there's some growers in Huron County, Sanilac County that are probably going to set personal bests for sure.
Now, it sounds to me like there's a market for these beans because there's other parts of the country not quite as blessed as what we are.
Well, that's for sure. Our friends out in North Dakota are struggling. I think they've got the bulk of their crop under cover. What's left, they're spending a lot of time with insurance folks trying to figure out what to do with it. USDA, remember, pegged their yield at 10.8 bags, and I think most people think that's going to be pretty close. Minnesota's in a little better position. Some real good yields down in southern Minnesota where things look a little bit more like Michigan. But as you go on up into Manitoba, it's just an extension of North Dakota, really struggling up there too. So that creates some supply-demand ratios that are a little different than maybe we expected given our acreage. I think there's some opportunity despite what looks like right now some pretty good values.
Had a chance to talk to our friends at Bush Brothers lately, Joe?
Honestly, I spoke with them this morning. They're getting a lot of customer-driven interest in sustainability, and well, that's not a new topic for bean growers and producers here in the Thumb and Saginaw Valley. We've probably got to step up our game a little bit there with some of the reporting. So I know the wheat world is doing it. Certainly the sugar world is doing it, and we're going to be right in there in line with them. So that's on our winter meeting plate, if you will.
Very good. Joe Kramer, thank you so much. Have a good weekend, okay?
Thanks, Terry.
You bet. Joe Kramer with the Michigan Bean Commission.
Hi, Deb. Another weekend, more youth baseball. Where's Jerry?
He wanted to come, but he's busy battling brown beet fields.
Cercospora?
Yeah, he went out to spray again. Is your crew spraying?
Just a few times. It's a sea of green this year.
You're kidding.
No, we tried that new CR Plus trait developed by KWS, and it's like night and day.
Really? Wow. You should text Jerry. He needs a new plan.
Maybe I'll just send some pics from the game. He'll get the message. KWS CR Plus trait is licensed to Beta Seed and Crystal Brand Seed.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Thumb Bank and Trust, serving the needs of local farmers for well over 125 years. 2 locations in Bay City, also Cass City, Caseville, Pigeon, and Bad Axe. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Steve Kathan. New hope to treat COVID-19 with a pill. Merck says tests of a treatment in pill form cut hospitalizations and deaths by half as virus sufferers who took it. CBS's Dr. David Agus.
This will be submitted to the FDA, and by the end of the year will hopefully be available. Merck will have 10 million doses of this completed by the end of the year. So this is something that in the war on COVID can start to be used right now.
The Supreme Court says Justice Brett Kavanaugh tested positive for COVID-19 just days before the start of the fall term. He is not suffering any symptoms. On Capitol Hill, CBS's Chris Van Cleve has the latest on talks over President Biden's ambitious spending bill, where West Virginia Democrat Joe Manchin is a key figure.
The current bill has $3.5 trillion in spending to fund programs like universal pre-K, an extension of the child tax credit, and paid family leave. But Manchin has insisted for weeks on bringing that number down to $1.5 trillion.
It's going to be at 1.5. We don't know where it's going to be.
Manchin and fellow moderate Democrat Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona met with White House aides on the Hill last night. Their opposition led progressive Democrats in the House to flex their political muscle and stand firm.
Aviation officials in suburban Phoenix report the mid-air collision of a small plane and helicopter. 2 people on the chopper were killed. CBS's Jim Krasula says it's a key day for a legal challenge to the restrictive abortion law in Texas.
A federal judge today will consider a Biden administration lawsuit to temporarily block the most restrictive abortion law in the country. It bans most abortions and has prompted women to go across state lines to get care.
In Indiana, Purdue University police are investigating an alleged sexual assault at a fraternity house, one of several that have occurred on campus in the past month. Student government president Shannon King says sororities have moved to cancel events with frats through the middle of the month.
It's a time to take up that leadership and say, hey, we're here, we're going to have fun, but we first need to address this huge problem that hasn't really been talked about for a really long time, and they are taking huge steps to make sure that that happens.
Now to Las Vegas. A ceremony to mark the massacre at a country music concert 4 years ago today. Deanne Hyatt's brother was among the 60 people who were killed.
All you can do is be there for each other, listen, cry, hug, love, and support one another.
Checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 229 points. The NASDAQ is up 15. This is CBS News.
This hour's newscast is presented by Rocket Mortgage. Need to know what it takes for a home loan to fit your budget and your family? Rocket can.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 News